Well, I am totally aware of the fact that I should have done what I'm about to do about 6 months ago at least, but we only have enough wood for the maple evaporator for about 20 to 40 more gallons of sap, and we could have a much larger run than, or 20 to 40 gallons of syrup production. And I think we're going to have a much larger run of sap than that. So we are going to fire up the tractor and cut some wood. Already got the logs ready, just got to cut it and split it. It's about 15 degrees at the most right now, but air's pretty dry, so it's actually pretty comfortable. So on the agenda for this coming summer is building a machine shed, because the tractor has a little bit of snow on it, as you can see. Gloves. I have a feeling my gluteus maximus is going to get cold because there was still some ice on that seat. I love fresh tractor tracks in the snow. Northerners probably get tired of the snow, but for those of us down in Missouri where it's only a 2 or 3 times a year occurrence, southern Missouri anyway, it's kind of neat. Cold, but neat. See, doesn't the single set of fresh tractor tracks just look so pretty? Forgot to cover the log splitter. This could be interesting, trying to start this on a day like this. Fortunately, it's a nice and dry snow. Yeah. Now for the saw. Well, I think I'm about done for the day with splitting wood. My shoulders are sore. That was 4 rounds from a big red oak log that filled up that tote with toothpicks. So we'll top that off tomorrow, maybe. Hopefully that's the last bit of wood we need for this year's maple season. Now I'm gonna go spend some time with the kids and we're gonna do some sledding, because it's probably the last time we'll see snow this year, so.
Fun riding this time.
Trying to fly.
Unicorn socks. Hey.
I don't know if these were designed for 3 people, especially 3 fat people.
Oh, you got a dog.
A dog.
And how are we gonna get our legs all in? Line up, Dad, hold it.
Oh,
I'm holding mine up.
all right.
I don't even move. You can set yours on the inside of Dad. Like, get it all the way. Okay, there we go. Oh, I about lost it. Oh my.
This is probably.
We're going. We're going.
Here we got a sled train. Maybe.
Ow.
I don't know how it happened.
We're doing it again. The rope's around my waist, Jed's sitting on it, and then Dad's in the sled in the back. Are we going? Or are we taking? We're getting Daisy.
She's on.
Hey, Daisy. Come here. Daisy, come here. Come here, Daisy. Daisy, come. Okay, go. You got her.
I'm getting pushed.
I maintained the phone.
After our slight wreck, we got the phone, and we're all in one piece.
Ish.
No, we can't see. There's too much snow on the screen. Hey, folks. It's the 23rd, I think, of February, and we're coming off of a nice deep freeze and hoping to have a really good sap flow over the next coming week to finish up the season. Right now, we're just out in the woods, going through the lines, making sure that there's no branches down or squirrel chews that are causing us to lose vacuum in the lines. So that's what we're doing now. I got a little bit of a break right before. I think tomorrow it's really gonna flow good. So there you can see some sap bubbles, or some bubbles in the sap, moving slowly down the tubing. And when you see just something like that, that's usually a really good sign that there's nothing wrong with that section of tubing. Now, if they were flowing really fast and they were evenly spaced bubbles, that would tell me that there's a leak somewhere in that tubing. So what I usually do is just go to the collection point, like down there you can see the barrel, and I'll take a look there, and if there's no abnormal bubbling in the lines right there, I know that we're good to go for the rest of that tubing run, and I don't have to check it. So coming down here to the barrel, at least this works in the 3/16 line, not so much the 5/16 line. There's a bubble moving nice and slow, just one here and there, or a cluster of bubbles like what we have right here. That's a good sign that there's no leaks in this line. Those are just cavitated gases in the sap. Well, we're gonna head out and check a few more of those before the sun sets today. Now here on this run, it seems to be flowing pretty fast, and you'll notice there's a whole lot of fairly evenly spaced bubbles. I almost guarantee you I can walk up this line and we can find a spot where there's air being inserted somewhere. So we're gonna do that now. And here it is. Classic example. That was easy to find. Squirrel bit into it right there, and that just caused the vacuum causes air bubbles to get sucked right in. So we'll take the time to repair that here. Just using our homemade two-handed tool. We'll cut it right there at that squirrel chew.
Oh my, look at it dripping out of there.
Sap is flowing pretty good today. We'll get our straight through connector in there, squeeze that together, and now we have
No more bubbles.
no more bubbles, which means we're getting full natural vacuum in this 3/16 line. And here we have some more work of those little buck-tooth varmints.
Dad,
Yeah?
do you see those 3 untapped trees?
Are you serious?
Uh-huh. See yourself.
Uh-huh. There. And there. And back there. Oh my.
Those aren't damaged at all.
No, that's just another quart of syrup, you know.
Yeah.
Another what?
$20, $40.
$60. $60 in sales that we just decided not to collect this year.
Yep.
Yep. Guess we're gonna bring the drill out in the morning.
Yeah.
Try to get this run, get a little bit out of them. Squeeze them for what we can. Alright, that one looks good. Not many bubbles there. This one looks good. So I guess that's all of them?
Yep.
Except for the 3 I didn't tap? Yeah.
Well, I guess I was supposed to alcohol them. Wyatt was supposed to put the tap in.
There was a team of 3 out here that missed all 3 of those somehow.
I mean, 3 out of 1,000 trees.
Well, folks, we're headed out this morning to tap the 3 trees that I forgot to tap back in the first part of January. See if we can get a few dollars worth of sap out of them. Can't believe that a crew of 3 missed these. Probably almost dark when we were putting them up or something. Yep, and she's a dripping. Well, there's a little bit of sap dripping. Now, finally, we have the last tap of 2025 in the trees. Probably about 5 days before we're going to take them all out. Well, we got a little bit of sap flow last night before it froze up. Got down to about 30 last night, I think. And that tote had about 50 gallons in it. Now it's probably got about 100, a little over 100. But we'll start collecting now because we're going to have to stay on top of things to keep the sap processed before it gets warm and the bacteria start working on it. Got another nearly 200 gallons of sap. It's flowing really good today. So get the RO going on this and we'll get the evaporator turned on and keep rolling as long as the sap keeps flowing. Bleeding the line there.
Good enough.
That's good enough. Turn all your valves. Right now it's pushing to the sugar shack. So make it go to the tote. You need to work on being a little more friendly. You're awfully mean. You need to let a guy walk where he wants to walk. Take that. All right, now we're gonna get this evaporator going. Sap's already in it. Got paper and wood. So all we gotta do is light it now. I think I'm gonna put a little more wood in there first. Well, we'll let the fire clean up outside of the firebox all the paper trash. One of this upcoming summer's project is going to be to pour a concrete apron in front of this door here because it just turns into a mud pit. But for the time being, we found this metal grate that works pretty good. Kind of need two hands to carry it. So I've really got to where I like cleaning this evaporator as much as possible during the course of the season. I know there's some guys out there that only clean it once during the whole season, but I just don't like getting that niter build up on the base of the pan. It just makes the boil harder to deal with. Let's just say that. It makes it much more frothy, especially right where it's making syrup. So anytime these last few years that we get a spell long enough that I can get the evaporator drained and get everything cleaned up, I take advantage of that and try to start off with a nice clean pan. And here you can see the sides still have a little bit of lime scale, but nice clear sap that we're starting with. You can see it's starting to froth just a little bit here in the flue pan, but just starting with a nice clean pan. I think it gives a much more efficient boil, and I think it'll produce a little bit lighter quality of a syrup as well. We've got a nice rolling boil now. Hey folks, it looks like it's going to be a long night. Jed just got back and was only able to pick up at a couple of the collection points because one of the barrels was actually overflowing, and another one of the tote was a lot fuller than I expected. So we're going to have to do some serious cooking and collection probably all night long today. So you can see here the sun's going down. Beautiful sunset. Turkeys in the trees. So it's not too bad out here. Feels pretty good. Just about the right temperature, actually. Nice, calm evening. Temperature probably about 45, 50 degrees. So good maple syrup making weather. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but we are getting some really nice light syrup for the end of February. Usually, the way it works is the syrup just progressively gets darker and darker and darker throughout the maple season. We've been blessed here with some really nice, good quality syrup here at the end of the season. Well, the sun went down a long time ago. The evaporator's still going hard. Jed's catching a few winks before he goes out on his midnight run to collect the sap. And that's a full tote. Wow, that sap is pushing hard today. Well, it is 2 in the morning and we're filling up our 4th pan of syrup for the day. think we started cooking around 2 in the afternoon. So we've been at it for a good 12 hours now. And I'm wanting to cook off what little bit we have left here, probably another couple hours worth of cooking, try to get a couple hours of sleep, and get back after it when the sun comes up. So, well, it looks like I have about 40 more gallons or so to run through the RO. Well, that last draw of syrup was pretty big, and we are a few degrees from getting to 7 over the boiling point, a few degrees below 219. So I'll be able to set my alarm and take a little nap here for about 15 minutes at a time once I fire up. So I'm going to load up the wood and then relax in the lawn chair. So I don't know if you can hear this or not, but I decided to take a few winks, and I think every crazy bantam rooster has decided to crow. Yeah, there goes another one. I'm ready to have chicken soup out of all these bantams. So I had to change positions. The roosters finally shut up, but then the tank, the concentrate head tank, which is right above me up there, is sweating and dripping on me. And that's cold. So now I'm all got a good position, I hope. So I'm gonna reset the timer for another 10 minutes and hopefully catch a few winks. Well, it's almost 4 in the morning and we're still making syrup. A person just hates to shut it down when the evaporator is this hot and it's cooking this good. We seem to be, I don't know, just that we're getting to it fast enough that the bacteria haven't had time to grow, but it's not frothing really at all while we're cooking it. I mean, very little skimmings to take off the back. Pan is staying nice and clean. No niter buildup really to speak of on the syrup pan. So as long as this is going, I think I'm going to keep cooking. But it looks like we've got about 25 more gallons to take off. So hopefully that won't take too much longer. Well, I've come to the conclusion that I am going to have to start a fire again in the morning anyway. And there's only a few gallons left up there to cook down. I've flooded the cooker. There ain't much fire in there. I'm going to bed. Good night. See you in the morning.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out our channel where we have other great videos just like this one.